You're not aware, Milk and Cereal is a feature film directed and written by Curry Barker alongside Cooper Tomlinson. They are a sketch comedy duo based out of LA who have uploaded onto YouTube for a number of years and have recently stepped into theatrical releases with Obsession. That film is not out yet, so as a precursor to that, I decided to watch Milk and Cereal. This film to me is a really good insight and parallel to Obsession. I think there's a lot in here that you can pick up on about what it is that interests Curry Barker and why I think that he is probably going to be a big success in the feature film world. So this film, if you don't know, is about a guy called Milk who is part of a prank YouTube channel, very 2015, 2016 coded.
Are you trying to tell me everybody's dead?
He is also moonlighting as a serial killer. He turns his YouTube prank into essentially a spree killing, and the film is divided into two halves. The first half being from the perspective of Cooper Tomlinson's character, who is the unsuspecting semi-innocent friend who doesn't know anything about what Curry Barker is involved in. And then the film breaks and goes into Curry Barker's perspective and allows us a window into this life of a YouTuber slash serial killer. What is so inventive and interesting about this film is that Curry Barker as the serial killer Milk provides a strong parallel to a dually comedic and horrific effect that showcases a YouTube prankster and serial killer as almost being one and the same. There is a deep element of social horror to his films that I think is really inventive and that you can clearly see him building on with Obsession, and that I think he will build on even more with his Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, which he said is going to focus more on Leatherface's family than it will do his killings and his victims. There is a strand in his films that is very heavily focused on what would happen if you took a relatively normal concept, for example, a YouTuber, or for example, someone wanting their crush to like them, and you just changed it ever so slightly. Well, what if you could get your crush to like you with this miracle drug or treatment? What would happen if that was possible? And what seems to me to be a centrifugal piece of his work, taking these very basic ideas and just flipping them on their head. And they're very relatable ideas. And also all of these things are based in reality. The idea of a YouTuber being a secretly maniacal, abusive piece of shit. It's not fictional. It's not false. It is true.
Are you fucking dumb?
So I don't necessarily find Milk and Cereal terrifying because of jump scares. It's not hereditary or anything like that. But what is scary is I'm watching it and going, this feels real. And I feel like that's going to be the similar sort of thing with Obsession, is that he's very good about blending these realistic aspects with a fictional slant, and that to me is a real strength that you're not getting from a lot of other horror directors right now, in my opinion. Ari Aster is elevated horror, obviously. Someone like Damien McCarthy is supernatural. I guess the probably closest comparison is maybe Zach Cregger. Something like Weapons is based on a realistic idea. A child going missing, a group of children going missing. What would happen? How would society fall apart as a result of that? But even then, Zach Cregger elevates that idea. He makes it bigger. He makes it wider. Whereas Obsession, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Milk and Cereal could all be confined to a block radius. It could all take place pretty much in one house. And that is what is so appealing to me, is he's taking the haunted mansion idea and saying, what if this mansion wasn't haunted, but what if you were in there with someone that you trusted or thought you could trust, and actually that person turned out to be someone else. I'm not here to psychologize Curry Barker, but his films do all focus on trust issues. As a wise man once said, the most personal is the most cinematic. All of his films center on this idea of, what if the person you were meant to trust the most, a lover, a friend, a co-worker, wasn't trustworthy. And that to me is a very upsetting and terrifying idea, because it is the most personal thing that you could turn into a horror film. And personally, I don't find something like Hokum very entertaining or scary. This to me is a lot more of a threatening aura surrounding a film. He's a very interesting director in that sense for me. I also think he's got people around him that are working on these films that I think are very talented as well. Cooper Tomlinson in this film as his friend, I thought was really good. He wrote on the film. He's very good in that aspect. He's a very good actor. I would like to see more from him independent of Curry Barker. There are minor criticisms of this film. There is an aspect to this film where you can almost feel them setting up the next moment, the next thing that they're going to discuss in a very YouTube sort of manner. There is some shoddy elements. There is, at times it does feel budgety, although that can also work to this film's benefit because it looks budget, therefore it looks more realistic. I do also wonder about Curry Barker's ability to not act in his films and therefore shift his focal point onto someone else. And his ability as a director will be really tested in that sense. What we now need to see from Curry Barker is whether or not he can put his vision onto someone else and say, all right, this is in your hands, guide this film. But that all changes when you're just writing and directing the film. When you're acting in the film, you are the focal point. You can guide your film in all aspects. And that is a real test of a director. Can you convince someone else to carry the film for you when you're not there on screen? So I am really excited for Obsession. I think that this is a really, really great window into Obsession, a really great window into what interests him. I would really recommend this film if you haven't seen it. It's a really exciting film and is a really great window into what is achievable on YouTube on a less than $1,000 budget that is achievable with just friends and an iPhone. This film being used as a template and being used as a foundation for him to build a theatrical career on is so clever and interesting and ambitious, and also makes me so positive for the future of this industry. I cannot wait to see Obsession. I'm really excited for it after this film. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you for watching.